Hello and welcome to Sean JCW Gaming. This is going to be a quick showcase to show some of the cool stuff you can do with the Technic SSP Survival Single Player. This is my world, and as you can see there's lots of crazy contraptions here. But I'll go into them in more detail later. I just wanted to make a point of saying I've not cheated on any of this. I've had to do it all from scratch. I don't know if you can hear me clicking right now, but basically too many items does not work. I probably would have cheated if I could, but I can't. So I had to do all this from scratch, and I'll show you where I started. So this is my house, and this is my tree. A lot of people prefer to build an actual house when they start off. I opted for the finding a nice cliff face and digging into the side of it. That's my method. So in here is a nice cozy home, nothing new. You start off this Modpack like any other. Down here, the only thing of interest is these. These are used to collect. This pump's used to collect oil. It can also be used to collect water and lava. And then these are just different pipes, Buildcraft pipes, but I won't go over them. When I go actually do the series, I'll go into them in more detail. Next, I decided to build this. This was originally, I wanted this to be my laboratory, a nice little building dug into the side of a mountain, but I realised it was far too small, and now this has just become a room to get me, I'm struggling to get in this door. This has just become a room to get me from room to room. But I needed to make my laboratory in here, or my factory. I think it's more of a factory. My factory in here, in this big room. Now, I originally built this big massive room with all these crazy contraptions in mind, and then, as you can see over here, everything's a bit squashed. But I'll get into that in a second. First, I want to go over the machines. There are various machines you make when you start off. One of the first ones is an extractor. Now this is used to make rubber, which you need to get started off. It's very useful, but it's also used to make kiln cells, which you need later for nuclear reactors. You need macerators, which basically what these do is this is awesome. You put one ore in, and it gives you 2 dust. So that's very, very cool, because you can basically double all you get ores you get from quarrying. Another machine you make is a compressor. This again is used to make uranium bars, which are used in nuclear reactors, and it also makes advanced alloys, which is used for advanced machinery. Next is a recycler. You put stuff like dirt and gravel and cobblestone in here, and it makes scrap metal. And scrap metal, its main use is to be put in the mass fabricator, and this will produce UU matter. It's used to make really awesome armor called quantum armor, but my game quantum armor doesn't work, so that's a bit of a pain. But they are on the machines I've got right now. There are other machines, there are upgraded versions of all these, but I've not made them yet. All these machines need power, and there are different ways of making power. The basic version is to use generators, but they don't produce a lot, and I don't use them anymore. This collects power. There are other more basic versions of this, but this is my version. It is the highest version. Other ways of making power are wind turbines. These are quite unreliable, and I've only got 16 of them, and I don't plan on making any more because they're not very useful. However, these solar panels, I've got loads of these, because they produce, there's 70 of them, so that produces a lot of power. But obviously the thing, actually they produce more power than what I'm about to show you. This is the nuclear reactor. Just because there's so many solar panels, they produce more power. But this nuclear reactor also produces quite a lot of power. But I plan on getting more of these set up. It's not on right now because uranium is quite rare, and I don't want to waste it, and I don't need the nuclear reactor running right this second. When I actually do the series, I'll go into more detail about all this. But that's just basically power. You need power to power the machines. Right now I'm just flying about here. Should have mentioned this earlier. This is a ring that's part of equivalent exchange, but I'll go over that in a second. Well, later. But as you can see, these quarries go all the way down to bedrock. And I've got quite a lot of them here. I'm going to turn this all into my quarry fields, but you don't have to set these up. The only thing you need to build is this machine here and some landmarks. You just mark out the area that you want to quarry, and then plonk one of these machines down next to it, and it will start mining away. But you need to power that with these engines, and you need a pipe coming out of it going back to wherever you want to get it, or otherwise you'll just lose everything. So yeah, that's the quarry. So all those quarries eventually. There's lots of pipes underground, but they eventually come to here, which is my, this is a diamond sorting pipe. It's not called a sorting pipe, but that's what it does. The blue and the black are empty because they're the inputs. I have 2 quarries running at once. That's why I need the reactor running when I've got quarries on. But red is junk. White, this is supposed to be white. This is ores. Green is valuables, and yellow is fuels, and you can see all the pipes going off into different directions. The one I wanted to focus on was the ores pipe. Now, I haven't actually got the quarries running right now. I've just put all these in myself. But as you can see, they're in the chest there, and they're getting piped down into here. The macerators are turning into 2 dust, and those 2 dust are going into these induction furnaces. These induction furnaces are really, really cool because they smelt really, really quickly. They need powered, but putting a redstone torch in front of them will keep them always on and always heat at 100%. And they cook really quickly, and they cook 2 ores at once. And then you can see here the pipes going into this chest. All the stuff will either go into this chest or this chest. Now I'll explain this chest later, and I've just moved some stuff into here. As you can see, when you've got the quarries up and running, you make lots of it. Now, the main reason you'll want to set up this is because basically it just does everything for you. You don't have to do anything. You have to do a little bit of maintenance just to make sure these engines don't run too fast, because they do get faster. But apart from that, you know, it does everything for you, and that's great. So when I go into the actual series, I'll show you how to set something like this up, but obviously you want to use your own imagination. Next, I'll move on to a little bit of equivalent exchange. So this is equivalent exchange. You can see here I've got some cool armor. This is equivalent exchange armor. That would be appropriate, as I'm going to be showing you equivalent exchange. That's really cool. That's made from dark matter, and dark matter, 1 dark matter is worth 15 diamonds, so it's very expensive. As you can see in here, I've got lots of stuff in this chest, and you can see the chest is huge. In here, you can see I've got red matter here. That's better than dark matter, but that's worth 25 diamonds. And you can see here, I've only got 8 diamonds. Really, anything that gets put in this chest gets converted up using this gem of eternal density. This takes 2 dark matter to make, so that's the equivalent to 30 diamonds, plus some other stuff. But that will convert stuff up for you. And the whole point of equivalent exchange is to convert stuff into better stuff. And in this mod, everything's worth EMC. You can see here, this is 126,896 EMC, and that's not even enough to make one. I've got 24 here. That's just that's over a long period of time. But everything is worth EMC. If I put this copper dust in, you can see it went up a tiny wee bit because copper dust isn't really worth that much. And cobblestone and all that is worth 1 AMC. So all the cobblestone going into there helps a wee bit to produce this, but it doesn't really do much at all. I said I showed you that glowstone thing on the roof. Basically under here, beneath here, is the interesting part. This is making Aeternalis fuel. You can see here, 1 Aeternalis fuel is worth 1 diamond, pretty much. And again here, everything's worth EMC. I think it's worth a tiny bit more than diamonds, but basically if I take a stack of this, because I need some of it, Aeternalis fuel is also used to power all the power items. It's used as fuel to power the power items in equivalent exchange, and also stuff like the dark matter and red matter furnaces. So see there, I put it in, and because it's worth, a stack of that is worth like a stack of diamond. You can see here, it made me 4 extra dark matter. And I'm going to cut to my equivalent exchange mining area. That's very cool, but it's quite far away from here, because the equivalent exchange version of mining is very destructive. So here I am just outside my equivalent exchange mining base, where I may as well show you the first thing, as there's lava here. This is called a volcanic amulet, and this is amazing. This isn't the only thing it can do, but one of the things it can do is it makes you invincible to lava. It allows you to swim about in it. The other thing it can do is, if there's still lava, it allows you to walk across it, and something I find amazing is if you go up to water and press, I think it's C, see it drains it all. That to me is incredible. I've had so much fun with this. I've cleared entire rivers with this. It's very destructive, but you know, I think that's amazing. Great way to get clay. Now if I drop down here, this is the next thing. You'll see there I took no fall damage. That's thanks to this ring. It's called the Swift Rules Rending Gale. It lets you fly. It takes no fall damage. It can shoot these, which basically they are whirlwinds that shoot stuff into the air, especially mobs. If it's stormy, instead of shooting whirlwinds, it will shoot lightning bolts. So that's really cool. Now, I mentioned before that equivalent exchange can be very destructive, and I'll cut to that. I'll cut to the end of a tunnel where I've got that set up. So I'm just going to set up a small explosion here to start with. This is using Nova Catalyst. The upgraded version is the Nova Catalysm, but I'm just using this right now. you can activate it just by using a redstone torch, and I'll fly so I can run back a wee bit. Now, before I set this off, I'll show you what's good about this. What you get here is, I've got this equivalent gem of eternal density. These are chemical bags, and as you can see, they have huge storage space. Just like the alchemical chest, but you can take them around with you. So if I plunk this redstone torch down, what will happen is that'll blow up. Everything it blows up, this is mining TNT, so everything it blows up gets collected as wee black orbs, and what this black hole band does is that being placed in here absorbs all the cobblestone and all the ores and all the gems and stuff like that gets put into here, and then the gem of eternal density converts it all up into red matter. I'll show you that in a second. This will be a small explosion. I'll show you the bigger explosion later. So step back a wee bit. Quickly open up my black alchemical bag, and you see it all getting converted up. This is thanks to the gem of eternal density. The dark matter has been made. Some more diamond is getting made. And then it stopped converting because basically I need more cobblestone before it can continue converting. But you can see I got a lot more ore. Now if I go in here, you can see it's made a fairly large explosion. Now I'll cut back when this is all lit up. So here we are, post-explosion, everything lit up, and you can see there's lots of ores around the side. This is the red matter pickaxe. If you right-click on an ore, it will mine out the whole vein. So you can see here, I can just like fly about and mine all this by right-clicking on it, and it's really fast. There's some uranium right there. And I think this is an amazing way to mine. Quarries are good to get you started, but once you've got equivalent exchange set up, you want to dig some big massive tunnels with the destruction catalyst and catalytic lens, which I'll show you in a second, and you want to start set off some explosions and do some quick strip mining with this. So I'm going to cut to tunneling and also the big explosion. Now this is the red matter shovel, and I may as well show this right now. For gravel, it does the same job as ores and just gets rid of it all. So that's really cool, because gravel can be a pain sometimes, and there's usually good stuff behind it. But the shovel, for dirt, it mines it out in layers, which I think is really cool, because when you're wanting to flatten ground, this is really useful, and you don't want it to like just take all the dirt away at once. You want it to do it in layers, and as you can see here, it takes out one layer at a time, and the area isn't too big. And you can change the area by changing the charge. I've just got it on full right now. So I'll mine out this. Now I'm going to show you I may as well just use the catalytic lens. This digs a massive tunnel. You see it in a second. It's 3x3, as all these are, but it's 64 long. So I'll just run to the end of this. Oh, I've hit some water. I'm just going to bypass that now and get to here. Now, I'm going to set up a bigger explosion with the Nova Catalysm. This is really, really destructive, and is the main reason why I built my equivalent exchange mining thing so far away. So again, like before, just get a redstone torch out and put it here, and take a big step back. I don't think this is far enough. That takes a little longer to blow up because it gives you more time to get out of the way. You can see there a big explosion, and again the black hole band and the gem of eternal density working together to convert it all. You'll see all these black orbs flying about. It basically puts all into those black orbs to reduce lag, so there's not like loads of stuff flying about you. Right, that's finished. Get over here, and you see this is a much bigger crater. Much bigger, and this is a great way to mine. Now if I go into here, you'll see before I had 4 red matter, now I have 6, and most of that was created from that one explosion. It's incredibly destructive. So I've done the explosion, mined it all out, and I think that's a good place to end. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.